friends, and welcome to This Simple Sober Life. I am Joshua, and I help others make simple changes to create a life of awesome. Welcome, my friends, and if this is the first time you're joining us, please make sure to hit that subscribe button so you get notified each time I create a video. Well, my friends, we can actually see a glimmer of the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, so many states, in fact, I think almost all the states have been on some sort of stay-at-home order from this pandemic that has literally struck the globe. At last count, we were up over 1 million people in the United States having been infected by COVID-19. You know, and if you're not directly affected, chances are you know someone who is. Well, it's been a long road, but we're almost over the hump. If we're not over the hump already, we're getting there. And so, you know, what are some of the lessons that we can take away from, you know, this whole experience? And in all likelihood, we will never be the same again. So here are a couple of things that I've learned during this whole pandemic, this whole experience. One of the things that I learned is don't listen to hearsay. Since the beginning of this in January, you know, there have been nothing but rumors spreading around and around and around. You know, I heard different rumors about us getting, 6 to 12 months of hazard pay. And I heard that everyone's getting $2,000 a month. And I heard that, it's transmittable by bats. And I've heard, this and that. And, everything that I have heard, 99% of it never came true, never came to fruition, and was never true to begin with. And this is a lesson that I can take not just in this sort of circumstance, but in life in general. We all like to talk, we all like to chitter chatter about different things, but unless I hear it directly from the source, I need to take some time and step back and analyze whether or not this could even be possible, if this is actually factual, or if this is just someone who heard something and then, started repeating whatever they think they heard. And that's the big thing. We repeat things that we think we heard. When we were in kindergarten, we all played that game telephone, where someone would come up with a phrase and you'd whisper it to someone, who would then whisper it to someone else, who would then whisper it to someone else, and by the end of the line, it was completely and totally misstrued. Looks like I should have learned that lesson way back in kindergarten, because even as adults, all we're doing is playing telephone with different things. And so, unless it comes directly from the source, or if I'm saying something directly to someone about my own life, then I know that I can only accept and legitimize actual facts rather than, getting all hyped up and worried about what someone else is saying. And that can transfer into every single aspect of my life. Oh, I heard if you only eat cauliflower, you'll lose like 30 pounds in a week. It's crazy. Oh, I heard if you make this one investment, you'll become a millionaire overnight. Oh, I heard if you worship this God, you will go straight to heaven. Woo! That's a lot of rumors going around, and that's a lot of someone just talking. And so just taking a step back and analyzing and legitimizing for myself, finding out the actual facts will save me a ton of headache and emotional roller coasters and, just the craziness going around in my head. Another thing that I learned is the importance of family time. Now, growing up, I kind of always had my own life. I was always doing my own thing, and I never really put much value into it until recently. And, a couple of times I've been able to stay home and spend some time, quality time with the family.
Ooh, what are we doing? Are we gonna fake cheese? Are we gonna fake cheese? Are we gonna fake cheese? Make funny faces.
And I'm so fortunate in that I'm living with my sister and her family, because every night at 6:30 they sit down and they have a meal as a family. And they talk about how their days went, and they talk about, the news, and they talk about different topics. And then we all laugh and giggle with little Callie. And it's brilliant. It's such a worthwhile experience. And now that many people are still on that stay-at-home order, they have the opportunity to really get to know and cherish the family members around them. And, I don't think that we should really be taking that for granted, because in a couple weeks, a couple of months, whenever this thing is in our past and we move on and essentially resume a normal life, we shouldn't forget those experiences and those memories that we had, and actually hang on to those for even longer, well past, this pandemic that's been going on and these restrictions that have been placed on us. And so really cherishing and valuing that time that we have with family and loved ones, because in all reality, we don't know when we won't have that person anymore. And I think more than now, we are starting to realize, even no matter how old you are, your own mortality and the mortality of those around you. And so really cherishing those family moments and those experiences is something that I have definitely learned from this and will carry with me throughout. Another thing that I realized and have learned through this pandemic is we are way more creative than we ever gave ourselves credit for. I am absolutely blown away with the different ways that people are invoking creativity into their daily lives, because, well, they don't really have much else to do. I picked up acrylic pour painting, and it's the easiest and coolest thing that I've done with painting. Now, I've always been fascinated with someone who could take a brush and create a beautiful picture. I've always wanted to do that. I've never really explored that talent before. But when I found acrylic pour painting, I was blown away, because literally all I have to do is pour a bunch of different paint in a cup, pour it on a canvas, and shabam! It's an original piece of artwork. But this is extending well past my circle. With what people are doing with the Zoom and TikTok and other things to create a connection between perfect strangers is mind-blowing. People are literally having raves right there on Zoom, and it's all ooms, 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 ooms. And you've got a very known DJ who spins, and it's such a cool thing. And now with this all-in challenge, celebrities are giving away experiences. Why did it take us so long to really, grasp our creativity and, find out new ways of doing old things and, breathing new life into, something that may have been in the past? It's awesome. Something else I learned? Stock up on TP. You can never have too much toilet paper.
It's mine. Oh, mine.
Never even crossed my mind before. I just assumed that it would always be there. But when I go into the store after, this thing blew up, and there is literally not a sheet of toilet paper on any of the shelves in any of the stores within a 50-mile radius, that is insane. I can't believe it. The thought literally popped in my head to steal toilet paper from work and bring it home. That is crazy. And so from now on, I will never get down to that last roll. I will have a surplus on hand at all times so that I never have to worry about that again. Another thing that I learned, and I've probably known it for most of my life, is that people are essentially insane. Absolutely crazy. The slightest little thing happens and their mind completely explodes. I gotta get out of here! I gotta get out of here! I will never forget the time. This was right after, this COVID-19, really hit its peak back in February. That's when the pandemic really kind of exploded and burst onto the scene. I was at Walmart pickup, and I was headed to Walmart pickup because I had gotten a text and they saying that my order was ready. So I'm on my way, and then I get a text saying, "Oh, we're running a little late. We'll text when we're done." I'm like, all right, well, shoot, I can wait in the parking lot for 20, 25 minutes, no problem. So I go ahead and go to Walmart. I luckily find a spot after driving around for about 15 minutes. And then I sit in my car and I wait. And I see this lady holding up a paper mask with hand sanitizer in her other hand. And she's going around and she is screaming at anyone who will listen. She is literally going up to strangers in their car and screaming at them. And the poor guys who are, and ladies who are, shuffling out from Walmart with the carts and the bags, she is screaming at them. And then she literally took her hand sanitizer and started squirting it at them. People are essentially insane. Crazy. I'll be driving down the highway doing, I usually have a pretty good lead foot, so I'll be doing about 80 into 70. And someone will zip by me so quickly that my car actually shakes. Now, I've got a pretty piece of crap car. And so for it to shake, I'm a little concerned that it might just fall apart right there upon the wheels. So, just this mentality of, being self-serving and selfish and, it's all about me. It's insane. This is a time where we should be considering other people and, really taking others' feelings and, experiences into consideration. So stop being insane. Another thing that I learned is be grateful for everything.
I'm grateful for you, tree.
Now, over the past year, during my sober journey, I have been very fortunate. I've been so very fortunate with all the blessings that have been bestowed upon me. And, it's not all been, ups and hurrahs and, climbing the mountains and being a rock star like I normally am. I've had some pitfalls. I've had some setbacks. I've had some really challenging times. But all in all, I'm grateful for every single experience. And during this time, we really need to focus on our gratitude. And, we really need to appreciate the goods and the bads that come into our life. It just makes life so much more enjoyable. It makes life so much more fun and interesting when we can actually take a step back and appreciate what's going on in that moment. And, it's actually a very surreal and serene moment. Every day before I start work, I'll watch the sun come up and I'll say the serenity prayer, and then I will thank whatever being may be out there that I get to experience that day. And that might be the only moment of calm that I have throughout the entire day. But that moment of gratitude, that gracious moment, brings me peace and harmony and the understanding that I am part of something so much larger. And it's such a cool experience. Another thing that I learned is the importance of human interaction. Now, I'm kind of a loner. I'm kind of isolated. I maybe introverted. Maybe my personality doesn't really show that, but I like being by myself, periodically. But when you tell me I can't be out with someone else, that's when I really want to do it. I am fortunate enough to go to work every single day. I am one of those essential beings. But on the weekends, I'm at home. And when I'm at home and I'm alone, I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go meet someone. I gotta go at least people watch or something. I gotta go do something. It's an itch. It's a necessity. We absolutely need human interaction. And it's great what Zoom is doing and Facebook Lives and all these other different online experiences. But there is nothing that will compare to actually being out in public with other people. We're humans. We have to have that interaction. And, I get very annoyed when someone's driving slow in front of me. I get very perturbed when people ask me stupid questions. I get annoyed pretty easily at other people. So maybe when this is all over, actually maybe starting now, I should actually reconsider and reevaluate how quickly my temper goes down when working with other people. I work with a younger guy. I've been training him, and he's goofy. He's a goofy guy. He's a young guy, and maybe when I was that age, I acted goofy too. In fact, probably more than likely. But I find my patience with him runs thin pretty quickly, and it shouldn't, and that's on me. That's my fault. I need to understand and appreciate the interaction that I'm able to have with him, because so many people are not able to do that right now, and I need to again step back and have some gratitude, but I also need to understand that interaction, that positive interaction, is really important to not only me, but also to him. And so I need to become more aware of that. And the last thing, well, probably not the last thing, but the last thing I jotted down that I have learned during this whole quarantine, COVID-19, pandemic, crisis type thing, is sitting at home and being a lazy piece of crap can actually be healthy for you.
Joshua, I thought you were going on a walk today. I'm not getting that Rona.
How many doctors would ever tell you to stay home, don't do anything? Sit on the couch and watch Netflix. We're not going to be able to do it for much longer, so enjoy it while you can, because right now, the healthiest thing you can do is sit down, pop in a movie, and don't move. It's fabulous. Anyway, my friends, I hope you got value out of this. If you did, please make sure to comment down below. What lessons have you learned during this pandemic? I would love to hear about those. Also give this video a big old thumbs up and subscribe. Hit that bell when you subscribe so you get notified each time I create a video. And I will talk to you soon. Cheers, my friends.